Alright, got out of the shower a little while ago. It's the night before, and the nerves haven't really kicked in yet. I'm more excited than nervous. Nothing there. Till tomorrow. Alright, so as you guys can see, I did not follow through very well with my vlog, but I did follow through with this post-op video for you guys. And because I didn't really follow through on the vlog side, that's why I kept you guys very informed on my Insta stories and things like that. So yeah, but here we are 2 weeks later with my post-op video that I did promise you guys and I did do for you guys. So let's get into that. Hey guys, welcome to my 2 weeks post-op video. It's finally been 2 weeks. They were actually pretty smooth, maybe a couple hiccups here and there, which I will get into later on in the video. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for following along with this journey. It definitely was something that was a little nerve-wracking to share with you guys, but after I posted my first Insta story, I got so much love and support and so many questions and so much curiosity that I kind of felt like I had to keep going with it. It's a video explaining a lot of the little details here and there as far as like transfers, saline silicone, CCs, and things like that. I'm going to end the video with the Q&A that I did on my Instagram. I'm going to actually knock out a lot of the questions that I have as far as like I said, saline silicone, CCs, things like that. So that's going to knock out a lot of the basic questions that I got, and then I'm going to go into the other questions later. Keep in mind that this is my journey, this was my experience, and not everyone's experience was like mine, and not everyone's experience will be like mine. So just keep that in mind. And let's get started. Well, let's start with actually how long I've been wanting to get this procedure. So ever since I was a teenager, I noticed that my breasts weren't growing in as much as I would have wanted to at the time. My body was developing for sure, but I knew that if they didn't come in, a breast augmentation was definitely going to be in my future. So now at 24 years old, I decided to get it done, my pre-op appointment. So I had my pre-op appointment with my doctor on August 11th. And there was two things I knew I wanted for sure: a lift and a breast augmentation. So the lift was actually something that I was for sure I wanted. I didn't really know much about, and I didn't know what the process was like. So I kind of went in with questions about that, and obviously questions about the augmentation. So he answered questions about the lift, took his measurements, gave my options basically. And with those options, I kind of went forward and moved ahead with the breast lift. As far as saline and silicone, I did know that I wanted silicone gel. It's something that I am very familiar with as far as knowing people that have gotten silicone gel. And for those of you who don't know the difference between saline and silicone, saline is basically the implant that if it were to rupture or anything, no harm will be done to your body. And then the silicone gel is the other alternative, which if it were to rupture, it's not good on your body, but it's also the most natural looking, the most natural feeling, and there is no rippling within the implant with the silicone gel, which is what I got. With the initial consultation, I didn't know CCs. So we started talking on CCs, we started giving me sizes, I started them in a bra that he let me borrow. And probably by the end of my consultation, I was thinking around 250 to 275 CCs. So that was something that I was kind of like going back and forth with. I didn't know. Consultation was in August, and my appointment that I had set up was until October 28th. So I had time to think about it, do my research, go on YouTube. What I didn't find on YouTube was videos on women in chairs who have gotten a breast augmentation. I didn't see much education out there for women in chairs who are looking to get a breast augmentation and lift. That's another reason why I decided to film this video, because I know there comes a lot of questions with that as far as how our bodies work now and how it works differently compared to an able-bodied. So one of the reasons why I definitely wanted to film this video for you guys. Alright, so let's fast forward to my surgery date. As I said, my surgery date was October 28th. I had my mom and my grandma go with me. I knew I was definitely going to need help, so those were my two go-to people to go with me. The day of my appointment, we arrived to the hospital. Everything was pretty smooth. The hospital was really nice, really clean, very nice environment to be around. The nurses put in my IV and everything, changed into my hospital gown, and yeah, started getting mentally prepared for surgery, which actually surgery doesn't really scare me. The only thing I hate about surgery is recovery. I dread the recovery process. So yeah, then his wife came in, and his wife is the anesthesiologist, had a conversation with me, explaining the entire post-op recovery process and explained to me the antibiotics I'm going to be getting, the painkillers, just a lot of post-op information. The possibility of having drains in me, she wasn't sure whether I was going to need that at that time before my surgery, but she let me know what that process was going to be like with the drains. So he took his measurements, started measuring out, and started drawing out things on my chest. We started talking along the lines about a 300 cc. And talking about how 300 cc's would put me at either a full C or a beginning D. So I already had 400 cc's naturally, so that would put me at 700 cc's in total. I was leaning more towards 275 cc's to 300 cc's, and he felt like 300 cc's was something that I was going to be ultimately happy with, which in the end it was my decision. It wasn't something that he pushed on me or anything like that, but I did go ahead with the 300 cc's. He's a very experienced doctor. I trust his knowledge. He was absolutely right. It actually gave me the perfect size I was looking for, which was not too big, not too small, and just perfect for me and my body type. So the surgery process lasted about 3 hours. After my surgery, I ended up back in the hospital room with compression bra on and everything. I had absolutely no pain. Those of you who are following along on my Insta stories knew that I was pretty much a little bit still out of it from the anesthesia, and I was on Insta story posting, letting you guys know that I was alive and well and that the surgery had gone by smoothly. There was absolutely no pain after the surgery. After the surgery, I got dressed into like some pajamas, some comfy clothes. We got a taxi and headed out to our hotel, which was about 5 minutes away from the hospital, not that bad. Once I got into our hotel room, I just wanted to lay down and relax and like rest. I laid down, then quickly realized that in order to get a good night's sleep, I should probably go to the restroom first. I had my grandma help me out and help me sit up. And when she sat me up, we noticed there was actually blood on my pajamas, on my bra, and on the bed. The reason for that is the drains. We didn't expect the drains to be draining so much. My mom was actually pretty new to the whole concept of the drains. So we were kind of just a little bit clueless when it came to that. So I wanted to actually let you guys know the reason for the drains. The reason for the drains is after a breast lift, your breast will likely be covered with gauze and a surgical support bra, which, yes, small tubes might be placed at the incision sites in your breast to drain any excess blood or fluid. So for me, I had them on either side of my lower boob. So basically right here and right here. Yeah, they drained a lot, but at the time that I sat up, my blood pressure instantly dropped. So I felt like I was gonna pass out. My mom got on the phone, called the doctor. The doctor told her not to touch me, not to do anything, wait for the nurse to come over and clean me up. She got there within, I think, 15 to 20 minutes. It was actually pretty quick. She got to me, took off the bra, cleaned me up, put a lot of gauze on each side of the drains, and then bandaged me up with an elastic bandage. And it told us not to put the bra on again until the 4th day when I get to shower. I'll be taking everything off, so I'd be able to put the bra back on. And we quickly learned that fruit was actually a good way to keep my blood pressure like stabilized and everything, and it would kind of like bring me back to life. The next morning we got up, I had breakfast. I was actually still in no pain. I had some fruit, I had some green juice just to keep me energized and keep my blood pressure from dropping. Then we got in the car and drove back home. And my dad actually carried me out of the SUV and into my room and into my bed. I pretty much just slept and like Netflixed and chilled that entire day. Yeah, I slept a lot. The next day I woke up and it was my first day of having my breast swollen, which is normal. They were pretty swollen. That was the only day I want to say it was a painful day, and I say painful because none of it was in reality very painful. My pain level was pretty much a 1 to 2 here and there. It was only because if I would move around, then they would ache. Not necessarily hurt, but they would ache. It would kind of feel like I just did an intense chest workout. The day that they were swollen was a little bit more painful than the other days. I just stayed in bed, slept it off. I was constantly putting cocoa butter on my breasts to avoid any stretch marks and just to help with the elasticity. So on the topic of pain, I didn't really have that much pain. I did not need to use any of the painkillers that were prescribed to me. It was more of, like I said, just soreness. And it was soreness that just came and went. I only really felt it when I was transferring to get up and go to the restroom, which was the only time that I was actually transferring into my chair and out of bed. As far as transferring, my doctor did explain that it was okay to do the transferring motion. The only thing I couldn't for sure and absolutely not do was raise my arms above my head, which I still can't. I'd have another week until I can do that. It was the only thing I wasn't allowed to do, but he did say that I could push up and things like that just to keep it to a minimum, which I did. I wasn't getting out of bed constantly. I was getting out of bed every 6 hours to go to the restroom. And that was it. So I definitely kept my transfers and everything to a minimum. As far as bruising, I didn't have a lot of bruising. And the bruising didn't even last that long. So the bruising that I did have had probably gone away within the 3rd or 4th day. Things that did bother me and that were a little bit more hard on me was the drains. The drains were something that I did not enjoy. I wanted them out as soon as possible. I called the doctor on the 3rd day because I wanted to get them out. Yeah, the drains were probably the most uncomfortable part of the entire experience, which I actually was able to take out on the 4th day, which was the day that I was allowed to shower. And taking them out, the process actually was not painful. It was actually really relieving. My mom took the entire week off from work to help me and feed me. Thank you, Mom. She helped me with my first shower because, like I said, I cannot raise my arms above my head and I didn't want to do that much movement. So she helped take out my drains, wash my hair, wash my body, and then after that I was finally able to go back into the compression bra. I know with lips it's very common to get the lollipop or the anchor incision, which the lollipop is around the nipple and down, and then the anchor is around the nipple down and then like kind of like an anchor on your underboob. I thought I was going to have to go ahead with the lollipop. That's what the doctor and I had talked about on the consultation and my pre-op appointment and things like that. The day of my surgery, when he was doing all the measurements and we were talking about 300 cc's and 275 cc's, he kind of started measuring around the skin and everything, and like I said, I did lose more weight. I definitely had more of a deflated breast area, so I think he saw that there was a lot of room to work with just the incision of and around the nipple and removing my nipples. So that's the only incision I have is around the nipples. I still have micropore tape on them. So yeah, that's the only incision I have and the only scar I have to look forward to, aside from the drain incisions, which are really tiny and you can't really see them unless I like actually lift my boob. So now 2 weeks later, I am able to feel my left nipple and areola. I actually was able to feel this a lot sooner than I was able to feel this side. This side is still a little bit numb. I am starting to get the feeling back though. I only have more numbness in my underboob than I do up top and on the sides. So the underboob area is still a little numb. Typically it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for you to get your feeling completely back. I want to inform you guys on my doctor. My doctor is Dr. Jimenez. He works out of TJ, which is Baja California, which is Mexico technically, which is only 2 hours away from where I live. He has worked on family and family friends. That is how I know him. I have known him since I was 4 years old. Very good doctor. No one has ever had a bad experience. Everyone keeps going back to him when they have to redo their breasts. I knew he was someone I could trust, someone's opinion I can trust, and someone whose work I can trust. I'll leave information for him below. He is very fluent in both English and Spanish. So is his wife. His wife is the anesthesiologist. He is a surgeon. If you guys do go to him, you guys will definitely have a very good experience with him. And like I said, the hospital was very nice, very clean, similar to the hospitals where I had my last 3 surgeries for my back, which was here in Riverside. I have absolutely nothing to complain about.